beat the Minnesota Timberwolves last night, 99-88, and they did it mostly without Steph Curry. Steph injured his hamstring in the second quarter. He'll have further testing done today. Curry finished with 13 points in 13 minutes, and so here's his head coach, Steve Kerr, on what the expectation is for Golden State's superstar.
I talked to him at halftime. You know, he's obviously crushed, but, you know, the guys picked him up and played a great game, and obviously we're all, you know, concerned about Steph, but it's part of the game.
Any team with me on it, I think has a chance, and I know that any team with Steph on it does have a chance. And my guys believe it too. They work so hard at their craft every single day. They don't shy away from any moment, from any matchup. They'll do whatever you ask them to do to make sure that we have a chance of winning. And we're going to need all hands on deck if 30's not ready to go.
Always will love Jimmy Butler's confidence. Hello, Jay Williams.
What's up, Shay Shay?
Good morning to you. I'm going to start with Doggy here, though. Jimmy Butler was very good yesterday.
Doggy.
Hello there, Jay.
Hello, Stephen A.
Pleasantries. Hello. Okay, he's not talking to you. There you go, just a nod. Jimmy Butler was really good yesterday. He was 2 assists shy of a triple-double. Great. But can Jimmy Butler carry this Golden State team now if Steph isn't good to go? He's probably at least going to miss the next game, but talk about the rest of the series later. What do you think, Mad Dog?
No, I do not. And I thought that Minnesota, I would have picked them before this series. They were a huge favorite. I'm surprised they played so poorly. Draymond Green had the best first half I've ever seen him play offensively. He played great offensively. He scored 14 points. He made 4 threes. And obviously Butler is going to do what he does. He's going to, he's going to fill the stat sheet. And Buddy Hield's playing well right now. He played great against Houston in Game 7. And he had, what do you have, about 20-something points last night? Hield played very well. I mean, the game was on so darn late, which is another story altogether. But Hield, played well last night. But I still believe in Minnesota. I'm going to give him a little pass because they had to lay off. They're not great at home sometimes. Dallas last year beat them there, so did the Nuggets. But I'm going to give them a little pass. I'm going to give them a game to sort of get their wind under them in the second round. I think Minnesota still wins this series. And obviously without Curry, they got a much better chance to win the series. No, Curry will bounce back. I don't think he's going to play game 2, Jay.
Doggy, you're surprised? That feels very disrespectful to the Warriors. You know they're 3-1 versus the Timberwolves this year.
Right, without Butler any of the time.
And what does that say? And this team has been the #1 defensive team in the league since Jimmy Butler has made the trade. And the reason why everybody keeps talking about how great they were against the Lakers and the physicality. And I give them a lot of credit for that. But when I know that the Lakers play ISO basketball and the Lakers also play more of a containment defense, the thing that makes Warriors basketball really good now is the fact they actually put pressure on the perimeter. Guys like Ant Edwards tried to force the gap multiple times last night and couldn't find his rhythm. So look, I think a lot is dependent upon when Steph is able to come back. We'll learn if that's a grade 1 sprain. If that is, that could be 1 to 2 weeks. But you could make a case that all Jimmy Butler needs to do is get you 1 game in the next 4.
And then they 3-2 when he comes back from games.
Yes. If you can give him 2 weeks of break and he does the right kind of rehab, Jimmy Butler has carried some other teams with lesser personnel. No offense to Goran Dragic and Duncan Robinson and all these guys he took to the NBA Finals, okay? Yep. And who they beat in Milwaukee and Indiana. He just needs to give you 1. If he can give you 1 against a team that actually defensively doesn't play defense to the style in which the Golden State Warriors play, that's all you're asking.
TV?
There's a couple of things to think about here. Number one, I think that it's okay to have Minnesota as a favorite in this series when you consider their size, their defensive prowess, how undersized Golden State is, that the Ant-Man shows up. But then game 1 took place, and you couldn't even recognize them. Where the hell was Ant-Man? I totally agree with Coach Finch calling him out the way that he did. He wants to say he played tough defense. It's just that nothing was going offensively. But the reality is that you saw him, and he's hit more 3-pointers than anybody this season. Yet, when you saw his first few 3-point shots, they were bricks. They weren't even close. And you're just looking at Ant-Man like, what the hell is going on here? That's number one. Number two, Steph Curry 13 points in 13 minutes before suffering his hamstring injury. As Jay Williams pointed out on numerous occasions over the last few days, you know what? You can't hit what your eyes can't see. They're a moving target. Yeah, you're bigger than them, but these guys are constantly on the move. Their spacing is there. They move without the basketball. They can hurt you from the perimeter with Steph, with a Buddy Hield, with a Jimmy Butler, and then you turn around and you've got a Buddy Hield looking like the second coming of Klay Thompson, and you got Draymond Green hitting 4 threes in the first half. I couldn't believe what I saw him doing. And I've often said this, Jay Will, that if you remember when years ago when Draymond got suspended for the Game 5 when Adam Silver in the NBA gave LeBron James that stimulus package, basically suspending Draymond, and ultimately Bogut and Andre Iguodala get hurt in the Game 5, and then they come back from a 3-1 deficit and they win the series in 7 games. Remember that Game 7 was when Draymond had about 30 or so because he was hitting threes from all over the place. And I've often said, if that Draymond Green shows up, if Draymond Green hits open jump shots, the Warriors could win it all. Because when you look at what the rest of them bring to the table, clearly they know how to defend. They're exceptionally well coached. They get contributions from other dudes, okay? But if Draymond is left open and he buries those shots, they could beat anybody. And that's what happened last night with Minnesota. The question is, do we think it's going to last? If it lasts, Golden State wins this series. If it doesn't, Ant-Man still has to show up. He can't be what he was in Game 1 and expect the Minnesota Timberwolves to advance. That's not going to fly.
Well, let's just do a little math. They got 55 points the Warriors did last night from Hield, Draymond, and Curry's 13. Curry's probably not going to play Game 2, and Green's not going to make 4 threes again, and I got to see Hield do this on a consistent basis. They're not going to score 55 points.
He did it last series.
He did one game, Game 7. He played great.
Yeah.
He played great.
That's a pretty good data.
I know, but still, he's a little inconsistent. Be fair. You're going to count on 24 points a game from him in this series? I can't count on that. That's not fair.
All I'm saying is everybody keeps talking about size. Size does nothing for you when you're forced to play on the perimeter. Who won the rebounding battle last night?
I'm sure that the
Warriors were plus 10.
But
Warriors had 18 offensive rebounds, long rebounds. I'm just saying, very different style. I agree with you that I think the Wolves are going to bounce back. No doubt about it. I'm just saying, I think this is going to be a series.
Well, I mean, I could see, obviously, 6 games. What did Minnesota shoot from 3 last night? 5 for 29. They are a very good three-point shooting team.
Those weren't open looks, doggy. I mean, those were tested looks. They were playing with their back towards the basket. And I'm going to say one last thing.
I'd have to look at all the shots, but you're going to get some open looks when you miss that many, take that many of them, right? Can't be all contested.
Yeah. I had something for Stephen A. Stephen A., we got into this little thing the other day.
Yep.
And I did your show the other day. It was great. We talked about Jason Tatum. He said it wasn't a good time for me to talk about him being the face of the league. Do you feel that we kind of crowned Ant Edwards?
Come on with that nonsense. Crowned Ant Edwards, the face of the league. I knew you were going to say that. All this guy does is talk, and he has yet to show us something for it. And yesterday was a good example. I'm sorry, but go on.
Hold on, whoa, Shay.
That was my point, Shay.
I think that's a bit harsh. Hold on. Let me answer.
They jumped on.
I think that's a bit harsh, Shay. That's a bit harsh, Shay.
Jay was about
the man
to say
you jumped. Don't try to put it on me now. You said it now. You said it. You jumped on.
I just want to see him be about it, not talk about it.
There's a slight delay here. I'm in the mountains. You know, that's why I got in this turtleneck. It's cold here, okay? I mean, it's a slight delay. Work with me, y'all. So let's look at this. Ant-Man.
What's your favorite team? Comment below, and if you liked the video, please leave a like. This really helps the channel grow and brings you even more content. Oh, and if you're not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Click the subscribe button and activate the bell to receive all notifications. With each game, we noticed that the NBA is getting more competitive every day, and all the teams are looking for reinforcements to win the championship. And only here can you follow your favorite team daily with incredible content from different sources. Here on the channel, there are new videos every day with analysis, curiosities, and the best moments in basketball. That's it for today, folks. Thanks for following along. The NBA doesn't stop, and neither do we. Until the next video. NBA, the passion that connects us.